11 बारी नहीं किए थे मृत्युंजय, आज मैंने ये बादाम रखे हैं ताकि
हाँ।
मुझे याद दिलाएंगे, मैं 11 करके करूंगी।
अच्छा।
हाँ जी, और लास्ट टाइम भावना जी मैं वो हनुमान चालीसा एकदम शुरू कर दी, मैं भूल गई। अरुण जी ने बोला एवरी टाइम 11 बारी करिए, लोगों के लिए जो बेचारे बीमार हैं और जो
हाँ।
जा उनके लिए 11 बारी जरूर करिए महामृत्यु।
ओके अरुण जी, मैंने आपको को होस्ट बना दिया है, and Promila, I've made you also co-host. So I've started the recording, and if you could just let people in, and I'm going to start streaming it on Facebook. Pramila, would you mind doing that? You're muted, Pramila.
Okay, I'll let people in.
Okay, thank you.
नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार।
Hello. Namaskar.
वक्रतुंडा महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ 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 त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवरदनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हाँ जी डॉक्टर पंड्या अब आप शुरू।
थैंक यू चंद्र जी।
ठीक मैंने आज बादाम रख लिया देखिए। बिल्कुल
ठीक है चलिए दीमन भाई।
हाँ तो आज ज्ञान का दिन है, नॉलेज का। तो ये हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए।
ब्यूटीफुल ब्यूटीफुल।
तो ये जो संगीत के प्रेमी हैं, सो ये राग यमन कल्याण है और जो ताल बज रहा है ताल वो रूपक ताल है, रूपक। हे प्रभु नंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए। हे प्रभु नंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए। शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए। शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता। लीजिए हमको शरण में, हम सदा चाहते बंदे। हमको शरण में, हम सदा चाहते बंदे। शांति चाहत धर्म रक्षक, वीर व्रत शांति चाहत धर्म रक्षक, वीर से हम दुर्जनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें। हम दुर्जनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें। सत्य बोले झूठ त्यागे, भेद आपस में करे। सत्य बोले झूठ त्यागे, भेद आपस में करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता। किसके कभी भी बोल कर ना करे।
Jai Shri Krishna. Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice, very nice, Ella. बहुत
Thank
अच्छा
you.
गाया।
Thank you, Usha ji.
Masiji, you are next, but I just want to make a small announcement. So, yesterday we packed 400 bags of food plus gloves, muffler, and hats. And tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we're going to distribute those in Yonkers in association with the Rotary Club of Yonkers. So Usha Sharma ji's daughter gave money. Anita ji's son Gaurav Manchanda gave money. Dr. Anil Joshi and Anju Bain gave money. Geeta Bain Patel gave money for that. So बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. भगवान उन सबको अपना आशीर्वाद बनाए रखे और ऐसे ही मंदिर की सेवा करते रहें. तो मासी जी, now you can sing about it.
Actually, पहले तेरा मास्टर कहना सी I will sing. अभी पर last minute में pull out कर गया. Anyway, next time he will sing.
Next time, okay.
तूने रात गवाई सोए के, दिवस गवायो खाए के, हीरा जन्म अमोल हा, कौड़ी बदले जाए. तूने रात गवाई सोए के, दिवस गवायो खाए के, हीरा जन्म अमोल है, कौड़ी बदले जाए. तूने रात गवाई सोए के. चिड़ी चोंच भर ले गई, नदी न घटियों नी, दान दिए धन न घटे, कह गए दास कबीर. This is for everybody. दान देने से धन कम नहीं होता. चिड़ी चोंच भर ले गई, नदी न घटियों नी, दान दिए धन न घटे, कह गए दास कबीर. तूने रात गवाई सोए के, दिवस गवायो खाए के, हीरा जन्म अमोल है, कौड़ी बदले जाए. तूने रात गवाई सोए के, बड़ा हुआ तो क्या हुआ, जैसे पेड़ खजूर, पंछी को छाया नहीं, फल लागे अति दूर. तूने रात गवाई सोए के, दिवस गवायो खाए के, हीरा जन्म अमोल है, कौड़ी बदले जाए. तूने रात गवाई सोए के. बस इतना काफी, बाकी लोगों को भी चांस देना है. जय श्री कृष्ण.
Thank you जी. जय श्री कृष्ण. पंकज भाई.
मेरे पास आज म्यूजिक नहीं है, सिर्फ एक धुन है.
धुन करेंगे, बहुत अच्छा.
तो मैं आपके समक्ष धुन प्रस्तुत करता हूँ. धुन to do dhun with Zoom or with a single man is very difficult, but I'll try it.
That's right.
Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava. Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava. Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava. Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda. Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Chinmaya Hari, Chinmaya Hari, Chinmaya Hari, Chinmaya. Chinmaya Hari, Chinmaya Hari, Chinmaya Hari, Chinmaya. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Namaste. Jatin bhai barabar hai tu?
Yes, perfect.
I just learned it from you from last meeting. Thank you so much for teaching me this.
Thank you. No
Jai
problem.
Shri Krishna.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Jagdish bhai, Jagdish Joshi.
Yes, 1 minute.
नमस्ते भगीरथ भाई, नमस्ते जतिन, हरिओम
हरिओम।
Hari Om. Hari Om.
અમે લેક્ચર રોજ સાંભળીએ છીએ પણ આજે હરિઓમ પહેલી વાર તમને કર્યું.
Yes. Hey, you got to start the video. You got to start the video.
Can you hear me?
વિડીયોમાં શું છે? તમારા લેક્ચરમાં જે છે તે.
Okay.
Jagdish bhai, I can hear you.
Yes.
नमस्ते भगीरथ भाई।
तुम्ही हो माता पिता, तुम्ही हो बंधु सखा, तुम्ही तुम्ही हो साथी, तुम्ही सहारे, कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारे। तुम्ही हो साथी, तुम्ही सहारे, कोई न अपना सिवा तुम्हारे। तुम्ही हो नैया, तुम्ही खेवैया, तुम्ही बंधु सखा, तुम्ही जो खिल सके ना वो फूल हम हैं, तुम्हारे चरणों की धूल हम हैं। जो खिल सके ना वो फूल हम हैं, तुम्हारे चरणों की धूल हम हैं। दया की दृष्टि सदा ही रखना, तुम्हें हो बंधु सखा तुम्हें। Thank you.
धन्यवाद जगदीश भाई। जतिन भाई प्रणाम, जय श्री कृष्णा।
Can we have the access?
हाँ जी, 1 second।
Slide.
No, I have not opened it. So तो मुझे बच गई।
भैया
You have to enable
you have to
screen.
please let me share.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to find your screen so I could make you co-host and then you can share the screen.
Okay.
Jatin Kapadia.
I know.
No, the screen says Jatin Kapadia.
Maybe Promila ji can find him.
Ramala ji, can you find him? Avilash ji?
अरुण भी आप और अभिलाष भाई दोनों co-host हैं. I think the main host
No,
will have to.
Oh yeah, Bhavna is the host.
The main host will have to make Jatin bhai co-host.
I know Bhavna is the host.
You cannot make him co-host.
Right. That's why.
Sorry for the interruption.
Bhavna ji, are you there? Bhavna ji had to step out for a couple of minutes, she said. Let me call her. Give me 1 second. I know.
We can start the prayers though in the meantime.
We can start the prayer, then I am trying to reach her.
No problem.
And if I have extra time, open the opportunity. This is open, right?
Bhavna ji, can you make Jatin ji co-host? Dr. Jatin.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुःकृङ्करणे
I've made you co-host, Jatin bhai.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. Thanks. 17. This 16. No, 17. Okay. Kurute Ganga Sagar Gamanam Vrata Paripalamatvadanam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janmashatena Bhaj Govindam Bhaj Govindam Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. So the first sloka and the 12 slokas after that is written by Shankaracharya, and after that 14 slokas are written by individual, one shloka per disciple, 14 disciples. So first 27 shloka includes 13 shlokas of Shankaracharya, 14 shlokas of his disciples. So this 17th shloka is obviously written by his disciple. And in the book, each one of the disciple, the one who has written each one of the shloka, his name is given. I don't remember them, but it is in the book. After 27th, the last 4 shlokas are again written by Shankaracharya ji, and he closed the book with the total 31 shlokas. So this particular one says, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam. Kurute is to do, Ganga Sagar is where Ganga meets the ocean that is around Calcutta.
Yes.
So Ganga Sagar is near Calcutta. Gamanam, go. So where Ganga meets the ocean, that place is considered very holy. So people go and visit that place. Vrata Paripalanam. Then you observe the vows, like you do Ekadashi or Tuesdays or Saturdays or the days you eat only one time. You don't eat certain foods on certain days. All of this is vrata, and most people do some kind of vrata. They fast on that day. Atava or danam. Everybody gives charity. Some people give more than the other, but everybody has a tendency and they feel good when they do some charity. All of these things are very, very good. Jnana vihinaha. Vihina is without. Jnana is the knowledge. This knowledge is knowledge of Brahman, Atman, Bhagwan's knowledge. sarvam atena, everything else, bhajati, gains, na mukti. There is no mukti, there is no realization without the knowledge of the Atman. Janma shatena, even if we have hundreds of birth, one birth and another birth and third birth and fourth birth, and we can do as much bhakti as we want. We can go to all different places all over India, all over world, and do pilgrimage. And we can fast as much as we want, but there cannot be moksha without the knowledge of Atman. That is an absolute necessity. So we did first book and you guys did not join. It was before we started our talks of Bhaj Govindam with you. We did one book and that name was Atma Bodha. And Atma Bodha has some 68 slokas or so. And in the beginning itself, that is also written by Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya says in the very beginning of the book that if you take a pot, put some water, and you put rice, and you put it on the stove, and you go and look after half an hour, is the rice done? It is not done. Why? Because we didn't start the heat. We didn't put the stove on. We didn't put the gas on. Or in those days, it was wood. They used to burn the woods. And as long as you do not give the heat, that rice is never going to cook. Jnana and mukti or moksha is exactly the same way. As much rituals we want to do, we can do. And in good old days, they used to do big yagna. All of that is good. And we even purify our yoga, bhakti yoga.
Okay.
And all the sadhana we do is perfectly good.
Okay.
Except that will never give us moksha. That can make us pure, but we can never get the moksha by all different sadhana or rituals. For that, we must have the jnana. So all the sadhanas, whether it is karma yoga or it is bhakti yoga, it will give us some kind of a positive activities or actions or purity in us. And that makes our life better. Definitely, it makes our life better. And we start thinking better. We start acting better. We feel more peaceful. All those advantages are there. And all sadhanas are perfectly good. As a matter of fact, the day we do the puja in our house, our day is very good. And we enjoy the day. So whichever kind of sadhana we do and whatever activities we do, as long as they are spiritual activities, we definitely feel good. The day we go to the temple, we come home and we feel good because we went to the temple. So all of that is supposed to make us feel good. Mirabai did a lot of bhakti bhajans all the time. But the only reason she got the freedom was because she had the jnana. And that jnana comes out in each one of her bhajan. And we can see the tattva because she knew the tattva. The same thing with Narsi Mehta. The same thing with all other bhaktas also. Bhakti by itself is very good, but bhakti by itself is not enough. So we have to have the jnana to be realized. That's what this shloka means. Pilgrimage is good. It gives us shraddha. Vrat is good. It makes us or gives us discipline. Charity is good. It gives us, it is a part of the karma yoga. And karma yoga always gives us the purity. So all of these things are good. There was one pastor, and somebody said that, oh, my dog died and I want to celebrate. I want to do the funeral of my dog. And the pastor said, no way, I don't do the funeral for the animals. Go home. It's impossible. So that guy said, oh, I'm so sorry that you refused to do the funeral for my dog. But you know what? It was written in the will that whoever does the funeral of my dog will get $20,000. So the pastor turned around and said, oh, why don't you tell me that your dog was a Christian dog? I'm ready to do that. There is no problem. Each one of the ritual is important. So this sloka is very, very simple. All it says is that we do have the benefit of all the sadhanas, whether it is karma yoga or it is bhakti yoga or it is just the pilgrimage or it is fasting or it is vrata or it is donation, dan, charity. Each one of them is very good. But we have no choice but to have the knowledge of the Atman, to have the maximum benefit. That's what we are trying to do right now. And all our scriptures, starting from Vedas and all the way up to the primary one, and the easiest one is Bhaja Govindam. All of them do one thing. They give us the knowledge of Atman. That's what they do. All right, so let's do the next one, 18th shloka. Suramandir. Okay. Suramandir tarumula nivasa Shayya bhutalam ajinam vasa Sarva parigra bhoga tyaga Kasya sukham na karoti viraga Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. So these are all, look at the last few words. Kasya Sukham na karoti viraga. Viraga is vairagya. Vairagya is dispassion, detachment. It is not physical, it is mental. And what are those, some of the examples? Sura Mandira Taru Mula Nivasaha. Taru is the tree, Mool is the bottom, Nivasa is sleep. Sura Mandira is of the temple. Shayya, the bed, Pathari, Shayya. Bhutalam, on the ground. Bhutalam is right on the ground. Ajinam, wearing deer skin. That is the only thing which was available in those days, 1200 years ago. So people used to wear the deer skin. People used to sit on it. People used to sleep on it. So whatever is available in whatever time the Acharya or Rishi is living, those are the examples that are given. Today's examples are different examples. So Shayya Bhutalam Ajinam Vasaha. You sleep by spreading the skin of a deer on the ground and sleep. That's it. Under the tree of a temple. Sarva parigraha. Parigraha is possession. Sarva is all. Bhoga tyagaha. Bhoga is enjoyment. Thirst to enjoy is bhoga. Tyagaha is let it go. Kasya sukham na karote viragaha. If you do all those things, what are the things described? Sleeping under a tree of the temple, bed on the ground itself, no house, no tent. Cloth is only the deer skin. Give up all the possession, parigraha. Give up all the possessions and give up the thirst to enjoy. Give up the thirst to enjoy. And if you put all together, it's a really clear vairagi. He has given up everything. What is the problem? That person has to be a happy human being. Now, he actually says not necessarily true. The reason is these are all physical things. So what is the difference, physical and mental? See, sometimes we do certain things that the father asks, and a 5-year-old child will say, but why, Dad? I don't want to do that. And Dad says, no, you have to do that. Let's start reading. But Dad, and Dad doesn't give answer. Dad said, because I told you so. I'm telling you, this is what you do, and you do it. Now, what's the difference? The dad did not give explanation. Why is it necessary to read? So the child will do it, but the child himself will not agree with dad. But he does it only because the dad ordered it. So now there is a difference. But if the dad explains that if you study, you will have better marks. If you get better marks, you will be a very intelligent boy. You will be able to go to a better school and you will be more successful in your life. Now, this explanation was necessary. If this explanation is not done, it is a suppression. The same way, if we are mentally not ready, and if we do not understand why we do what we do, then it is a simple suppression. And then there is no success. That one day we will get up and we will go into a tantrum. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm away from here. So it is the mental vairagya which is necessary. Suppose we live in a big, nice house, and suppose we have a very expensive bed and a very good clothes and a lot of food and very happy. Should we give up? We don't have to give up everything. But mentally, we must prepare ourselves that I can live without every single thing. If I have to move in a studio, I will do that. If I have only one bed and one kitchen and one simple thing and 2 pairs of clothes, I can do that. There is no problem. So it has to be mental detachment. So the inner riches, the knowledge, has to have the basis for the poverty. And then we live simple. Now that renunciation is good. Without that renunciation, the renunciation is very painful. So we have to understand it is the mental detachment, but not physical detachment. Physical detachment may or may not be there. Mental detachment is absolutely necessary. It's like when Swamiji gave this example, that let's say one bird is flying, and if he's holding a fish in his beak, the another bird will go after him and will keep biting, will keep poking the bird who has the fish. The only way that bird is free is when he opens his mouth and let the fish go. Now the bigger bird or another bird will not go after that bird, will go after the fish which is falling down and will either catch it or will pick later on. So we have the same thing. We have the same problem. As long as we are attached to our wealth, as long as we are attached to our possessions, as long as we are attached to the people who are around us, there is never going to be a real dispassion. Our mental detachment is absolutely necessary. Now, with another group, we did Bhagavad Gita. And in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked question to Lord Krishna. What was the question? That Bhagavan, you taught me how to do the meditation. And I understand and I agree with everything you told me. But if I start meditating, my mind is everywhere and I can't concentrate on Atman. I can't concentrate on Brahman. Because the moment I start meditation, I think of one thing and another thing and another thing and another thing. I think of everything except I think of the Lord. Now, how can I do meditation? So the Lord Krishna's answer was that you need to do two things. One, practice. Practice meditation. Do it every day, every day. Whether you succeed or not, doesn't matter. Do it, practice. That will make you perfect. And the second most important thing, the people who are chanchal, people whose mind is everywhere, are the people who do not have vairagya. We have to have mental vairagya. If not, the moment we sit down for meditation, we think of what? Wealth. We think of stock market. We think of children. We think of grandchildren. We think of food. We think of the things we are going to buy today. Or we think of the things we bought 2 days ago. We think of vacation. We think of everything but the Lord. What is the sense in meditating? We are sitting there and daydreaming. So in every single Vedantic books will describe we must have mental detachment from who? Two. One, the possessions, and two, the people. Possessions and people. And whenever we talk about this, somebody will start arguing with me. And it happens, and we might even have the question or the argument today also, is that how can I be detached from my spouse? How can I not love my spouse? How can I not love, forget about spouse, my children? That's more important. How can I not love my grandchildren? Well, we can, we must, we should. There's nothing wrong with that. The only difference is in their presence, show all the love. Love them as much as you want. But with the mind that this child and this son and this daughter and this grandson is going to go to his house at the end of the day or at the end of the vacation, and when the two, perfectly good. I will be equally happy, even in their absence. Now that mental preparation must be there. But how about spouse? How about spouse? He or she is always around. Well, let he or she be around. Doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean that I cannot live without my spouse. That doesn't mean that I have to be with him or her at all times. And that doesn't mean that I should be thinking about him or her at all times. All of our scriptural books will advise some space from the spouse. It's very healthy. We can't be with each other every moment. It's not necessary. And we shouldn't even be thinking about each other every moment. It's not necessary. It is actually unhealthy. So there has to be a separation. There has to be an independence. And without the viraga, without this passion, without the vairagya, we are going to be in trouble. Every single thing that we love, that thing is going to give us sorrow. Every single thing that we love and we are attached to is going to give us the sorrow, 100%. What about wealth? We are attached to, and I have it, and I earned it. It's all mine. Well, if we are attached, one day the stock market will go down. One day the house price will go down. One day we will detach ourselves from the money. And at that time, we won't be able to stand it. It will give us the sorrow. And the same thing with the friends and the same thing with the relatives. Somebody will insult us. Somebody will go away from us. And that is going to give us the sorrow. The best way to avoid the sorrow is to develop a sense of vairagya. And anybody who has vairagya is going to be a happy person. So realized person has no desires. Well, that is a usual statement, but they do have desires. And those desires for the higher, not the desires for the lower. So the desires for the lower are the desire for the objects, but the desire for the higher is the desire for the Atman, the God, the Brahman, the Supreme. That is perfectly good. We should have the desire. Actually, mumukshutvam, or intense desire to attain the Brahman, is a necessity. Without that, we cannot have the Brahman. So the higher desires to attain the Brahman is 100% correct. The lower desire for the possessions and the people is incorrect, unnecessary. Let us stay away. There is another book called Kaivalya Upanishad. And we used to chant this in a part of our prayer. And the prayer is kind of a 4 pages long prayer. Every evening when we used to do the prayer, it's a long one. And it has 2 words which were very, very important. Tyage naike amrutatvamana suhu. What it means that renunciation alone can give us immortality. We cannot have the freedom. We cannot have the moksha. We cannot earn immortality without renunciation. And every single Upanishad, one or the other way, will tell us this. Then another one, which is in Vairagya Shatakam, that is another tiny little book. And we probably will do it sometime in near future. And that says that vairagya meva abhayam, that unless we have vairagya, we will not have fearlessness. We have to have the detachment to be fearless. Otherwise, we are always afraid. And fear itself means that we are afraid of something which we have, we cannot lose. It can be health, it can be objects, it can be wealth, it can be people, it can be friends. But as long as we are attached, we will be fearful. When we are not attached, we will be fearless, and we want to be fearless. So 1, we can only be fearless with vairagya. 2, we can only have immortality with renunciation. And 3, we can only be successful in our meditation with renunciation. So it is a big thing, and we cannot achieve that overnight. We just have to slowly, slowly, slowly increase our vairagya. vairagya. See, we all know that the whole life is divided into 4 different groups. And when we are little, 0 to 25 years, we are in an ashram which is called Bal Brahmacharya Ashram. The next 25 years is called Grahasthashram. The next 25 years is called Vanprasthashram. And the last part of our life, the last 25 years, 75 to 100, but actually now the moment we retire, that means 66, 67 to the rest of the life, because we may not reach 100. That time period is called sannyasa ashram. That sannyasa means detachment. Sannyasa means vairagya. Sannyasa means that I have everything which I am not going to purposely use it and live with the list to be the happiest. That is the definition of sannyasa ashram. So we have everything, but we make the point not to use what we have. That is sannyasa ashram. Live with the list. That should be the goal in sannyasa ashram. That will make us very happy. But if we keep thinking about either the wealth or the children every moment, we are going to be very unhappy. All right, so let's do the next one. 19th. Yoga Ratava. All right. Yoga Ratova, Bhoga Ratova, Sangha Ratova, Sangha Vihinaha, Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam, Nandati 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 Eva, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Yoga Ratova, the one who revels in yoga. Bhoga Ratova, the one who revels in external enjoyment. Bhoga, enjoyment, fun. Or Sangha Ratova, the one who revels in the company of the other people. We do it all the time. Sangha Ratova. It can be friends, it can be family, it can be people with whom we work, anyone with whom we associate. We like the company of the other people. Sangha Vihinaha, without the other people, alone, solitude. And people should revel in the solitude. Yasya Brahmani Ramate, the one who revels in Brahman, Atman, Bhagavan, God, Parmeshwar. Chittam, his mind is, that mind, Nandati, Nandati, Nandati Eva. He enjoys, he enjoys, he enjoys. He alone enjoys. So, there is a fun in everything. Let one revel in yoga. Let one revel in external enjoyment. Let one revel in the company of the others. Let one revel without the company of the other people in a solitude. But the bottom line is, you cannot have a blissful state of mind without knowing Brahman. And he's the only one who has the maximum enjoyment or bliss. So the definition of Brahman is Sat Chit Ananda. That is the definition of Brahman. Okay. So why does it happen? Why we can't enjoy the rest of our life just with the objects around? We earned so much, we collected so much money, we have everything that we need, we have all the things to give us the pleasure. Why can't we enjoy that? What's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that. But that is going to bring us the sorrow. Why? Why? It doesn't make sense. I have all the money in the world. Why should I be suffering? I will never suffer. I will always enjoy. And whatever I want to buy, I can buy with my money. Well, you cannot buy the bliss with your money. The real problem of not knowing who we are, that I am Satchitananda, I am not this body, I am this Atman. Not knowing that, there is a big problem. And the problem is we are not fulfilled. Suppose when we came from India for $10. Or if somebody is born in America and has rich parents and he has already $1 million when he's 20 years old, what is the problem? Then he wants 2 million. Then what? He wants 5. Then what? He wants 10. Then what? He wants 100. Whatever. Are we ever satisfied? No. We have everything in the house. And guess what? We go shopping. But I have everything in my house. Why should I go shopping? I think that if I buy that, I will be fulfilled. I am missing something. I have a 51-inch TV, but I want 75-inch TV. Why? I want to watch football on a big TV. Why? It's more fun. But you could have equal fun on a 25-inch TV. So what we are missing is Purnatvam, fulfillness. That fulfillness is not there. We are unfulfilled. That we always think, oh, when I retire, I'm going to go on a world tour. Why? I want to enjoy that. I want to see Russia. I want to see South Pole. I want to go to Alaska. I want to do this and I want to do that. The bucket list is always full. Even if you make a bucket list and even if you decide, I want to do 10 things before I die, and you do 9, how many things are left? Not 1. You add up another 10. So it's never fulfilled. We are never fulfilled. There is no Purnatvam. Only one time we will have absolute Purnatvam, or we are totally fulfilled, is when we understand that I am not this physical body. I had a different physical body in the last life. I have a different physical body in this life, and I will have a different physical body in the next life. This body is not me. This body is temporary. I have possession of this body only for 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. But I have been there 1,000 times before. And I couldn't keep my body then. How can I be this body? But we failed to understand because we never tried to understand that I am not this body. I am that who knows this body, who knows this mind. And that Jivatma, that consciousness is who I am. Unless we reach there, in 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asks and Lord Krishna explains, 54th sloka onwards, what is sthita prajna? That sthita prajna is the person who is nandati 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 eva, who is eternally always happy, enjoying. And why is he enjoying all the time? Because he knows he's not his body. He is that consciousness, which is Satchitananda. That Ananda means blissful. That person is blissful at all times. The another thing which we gain when we are realized, or when we understand Brahman, when we understand our essential nature, when we understand that I am the Sakshi, I am the consciousness, then we get something called Samatvam. Samatvam means our mind becomes such that good days or bad days are equal. Happiness and sorrow is equal. Gain and loss is equal. Honor and dishonor is equal. Praise and criticism is equal. That state of mind is called samatvam. And that person with that state of mind is the happiest man on earth. That no matter what happens, that's what my God wanted. That's what is in my luck. That's what it is supposed to be. I cannot always be successful. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not successful. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. Losing is a part of the life. And we cannot be very, very unhappy or depressed just because we lose. That mindset doesn't come until we know what is our essential nature. And our essential nature is Satchit Ananda. What does that mean? Is that is who I am, the existence, the Atman, the consciousness. That is who I am. Once we understand that, then few things happens in our life. What are those? I want nothing. I desire nothing. I expect nothing. I demand nothing. I need nothing. I accept everything. I reject nothing. That mind is the mind with samatvam. I'll repeat one more time. I want nothing. I desire nothing. I expect nothing. I demand nothing. I need nothing. I accept everything. I refuse or reject nothing. When we get that state of mind, now we got the moksha. That means nothing can make me unhappy. I will always be blissful at all times. We don't have to go to Himalayas and meditate. We don't have to sleep under the tree. We don't have to live in the cave. It's not necessary. We can do it in our own house. We don't have to leave the house, and we can still be very, very happy and blissful state of mind only if we understand the real essence of this life. And the person who has that state of mind, for him, that state of mind is called moksha. That is realization. That is enlightenment. That is the highest state in our mind. And that's what happens. There is another statement which is called similar to Mahavakya, but not one of the 4 Mahavakyas. It's a Mundaka Upanishad. It says, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. In other words, those who know Atma, those who know Bhagavan, become Bhagavan. Isn't it? Amazing, right? Those who know Parameshwar, Supreme Brahman, he becomes Supreme Brahman. There is no state higher than that in the world. That's what you reached, the peak of the mountain. You climb up Everest. There is nothing higher than that left in life. And that state is achieved by us, all of us. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 100% of us is capable of getting there. We just have to try. We all can. We all will.
So
It's a matter of time.
Binduji is asking, it is difficult to believe that I am not this body while spending so much time taking care of this body, feeding it, realizing the surroundings with it. How can one balance this thought of no body in our everyday life?
Correct. Okay. So it requires, the question is, how can we ever be realized and understand the statement that I am not this body, I am Atman, because I'm taking care of this body 24/7 since the day I was born until today. How can I be detached from this body? How can I not believe I am not this body? Well, I cannot be this body. How can that be? It is a ridiculous statement. From the birth, I have been told I am Jatin. Now, let's think a little higher, a little bit more detail. I always say I know my mind. I know if I'm happy. True? I know if I'm unhappy. True? I know I'm aggravated. I know I'm enjoying. I know I'm suffering. I know my mind means I am something other than my mind, something subtler than my mind, something deeper than my mind. And there is only one thing deeper than antakarana. Mind is antakarana. It is grouped in mind, intellect, memory, and ego. All of them are grouped together as called antakarana. So when I say I know my mind, what it means is that I am subtler than my mind. And there is only one thing subtler than our antakarana. That is Atma. Then I am that Atma. We also say that I had a life before, and I had a life before that, and I had a life before that, and I will have a life after this life. If I had a life before, then who am I? Am I the same person in this life? No, I was a different person in the previous life. But that was I too. And I will have a different life in next life. That is I too. So who is the I? That I cannot be same, because I was a different person in the previous life, different person in this life, different person in the next life. That I is something higher than this gross body. This body is very gross. So that we call in a regular language Jivatma. So that Jivatma is who I am. Can we agree? Yes, we can. So I am subtler than my gross body and my mind. That is my consciousness. That is my Atma. I am the same Atma which was in the previous life, in this life, and will be in the next life. So that Jivatma is who I am. And once we think little more detail and study a little more and do little reading, do little chintanam, and then do the meditation with a pure mind, we will not only accept it, we will be convinced that I am not this gross body. My Jivatma is going through the experience of this physical body, which will go through the experience of a next physical body in the next life. It is perfectly easy to understand. And the moment we understand this, the sorrow of this life, the suffering of this life, the pain of this life will be gone forever, forever. That state of mind is the moksha. Can we all get it? Yes, we can. Is it too difficult? No, it is not. But we just don't try. That is the problem. The problem is we don't try to understand. We don't try to learn or study what the Atman is, or our scriptural books. It is very, very clear in all our Vedas, all even Bhagavad Gita, and we all read Bhagavad Gita. But we don't go through the details of understanding of Bhagavad Gita. But if we do understand it, then we will accept it. We will agree with Nandati, Nandati, Nandati Eva. That is the person who will not only be blissful, he will be blissful at all times. That is the state of mind we will reach. So we got 5 minutes left. We can have some questions now. And we can have the questions as much as you want. I will be sitting.
Jatinji, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So you have mentioned that that we can try to attain moksha by practicing all the techniques that you have just mentioned, but don't and you also mentioned that how we can forget that there is no I and I'm different, because every birth you have a different body, and that's not me. And you said that you're gonna have, you could also have a next life. So can't we prevent the next life by attaining moksha in this life?
100. Okay. When we are born, there are 4 things we must do. It is called our purushartha. What are the 4 purushartha in our human life? Dharma, we follow the rules. Artha, we make money. Kama, we have desires, marriage, children, etc. And the last one is called moksha. That is the purpose of our birth. But we follow the first 3. Why? Because they're easy and we enjoy and we have a temporary fun. And then happiness, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness, happiness, unhappiness. We continue this as long as we live. And the reason why we had birth this time is because in our previous life, we did not get the moksha. In this life, if we get the moksha, and we certainly can, 100% of us who are listening right now, they are going to go to heaven. They're going to be in a higher life next time around. Why? Because we are learning and bringing ourselves higher and higher and higher. So we have a bright future. The only problem is we easily give up. We easily give up. A little time we spend and we are not successful, and then, this is not my cup of tea. No, it is your cup of tea. If we try, right? So we keep trying. Even if we don't reach highest, more and more we try, more and more blissful we will be, even if we do not reach the tip of Mount Everest. It's okay. But we will be happier than we are today. And we will not be unnecessarily unhappy easily in future. Isn't it a game? It sure is.
Yes.
Yeah, we can try. I
Thank you.
and in Lord Krishna answers in Bhagavad Gita that I bet you will succeed. Only if you try. So we can try.
Thank you for providing the answer, Jatinji.
No problem.
જતીનભાઈ,
હા,
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ, નટુભાઈ બોલું છું.
બોલો.
મોક્ષ વિશે ક્વેશ્ચન છે.
ઓકે.
એક શ્લોકનું ટ્રાન્સલેશન વાંચું છું, એક બે લાઈન છે, પછી તમે એમનો સમજાવો. થોડા ક્વેશ્ચન છે એમાં.
ઓકે.
તદબુદ્ધ યસ્ત દાત્માનસ્ત નિષ્ઠાસ્ત પરાયણા ગચ્છત્યુ પુનરાવૃત્તિ જ્ઞાન નિર્ધુત કલ્મશાહ. એનું ટ્રાન્સલેશન થાય, જેની બુદ્ધિ પરબ્રહ્મને વિશે છે અને તે જ તેનો આત્મા અને તે જ તેની નિષ્ઠા અને તે જ જેને રહેવાનું ઠેકાણું છે, એ રીતે જ્ઞાન કરીને જેના પાપ ધોવાય છે એવા પુરુષ મોક્ષ પામે છે. એટલે કર્મયોગ પ્રમાણે આપણે પાપ ને પુણ્ય એનો સરવાળો બાદ બાકી ઝીરો બેલેન્સ થાય તો જ મોક્ષ મળે. બરાબર? એવું હવે પાપ ધોવા માટે ત્રણ વસ્તુ કૃષ્ણ ભગવાને અર્જુનને કહ્યું. ઓકે, બધું કર્યું. હવે ઘણા લોકોને જ્ઞાની પુરુષો હોય કે ગમે તે, પણ આધ્યાત્મિક રીતે હું અજ્ઞાની જ કહું, કારણ કે હું જ સમજી નહીં શકતો. ગોથા ખવડાવી એવું છે. આમ ફોલોઈંગ પાંડુરંગ આઠવલે, તત્વજ્ઞાન, ફિલોસોફી.
ઓકે.
એકની એક વસ્તુ 10 વાર વાંચું, મને દર વખતે કંઈક નવો જ જ્ઞાનનો પ્રકાશ. આમાં ઘણા લોકોને એવું ધૂન લાગે કે મારે મોક્ષ લેવો છે. મેં કોઈ હવા ખાતું.
Okay. So
અવતારવાદમાં બધું આવે કે ચક્કર ખાય, શરીરનું દેહ બદલાઈ જાય, આત્મા તો આમે બળી ના શકે, કશું ના થાય. તો આ મોક્ષ શું ચીજ છે એ સમજાવો.
Okay. So let me just tell you, this is a very intense statement. This is a very intense shloka, and it includes everything. It is talking about the ultimate, how we are going to reach the moksha. And the meaning is this. In the very beginning, in the first class that I had with you people, I had a slide. And on that slide, we showed 3 things. What were those 3 things? That we have to do karma yoga.
Yeah.
Means what? That means that we must do the karma, our action, to help other people. All throughout our life, we help ourselves.
Yeah. Okay.
But we have to learn to help the society. We are helping only ourselves. So nishkam karma. Without, that is jana seva. That is seva in your own temple. That is worshipping all your own God. That was second, which is bhakti. So one is karma yoga, second is bhakti yoga, and the last is the jnana yoga.
Jnana yoga. Yeah.
This book is about jnana yoga. That means it's giving us the knowledge of Atma. And that this is only in a piecemeal, like one information and another information and another information, and ultimately we will have a total information of Atma. So when we do all 3, when we help in the temple without expecting anything from the temple, we will have the purity of mind. When we do the bhakti and sit in front of the Lord and love the Lord, we will have the chitta ekagrata, or single pointedness of mind. When you combine these two and then meditate on the Atman, then it is possible to get the moksha. Now, this is in the simplest way, but it is not as simple as this. Because remember, to meditate, we have to first know what is Atman. And then we have to think about it, do the chintanam, and make sure that we remove all the doubts which we have. Right now we have doubts. All these questions are because we have doubts. We are not accepting what I am telling you or what the book is telling us that easily. So we have doubts. So first, we have to know what it is from the book. 2, we have to do thinking to remove all of our doubts. Now, when we are absolutely clear about what Atma is, then we meditate. And when we meditate, we not only digest what we learned and we assimilate in our life. The end result is what is called moksha. What is said in this shloka is absolutely correct, but it requires intense activity from our side. And when we do, we will succeed, then we will reach a state which is called moksha. Moksha is nothing but a state of mind which is different from the state of mind which we have today. Which we have today is all worries and tension and pressure and greed and lust and etc. etc. That mind will change, and that mind will become free, free of fear and free of sorrow. And that state of mind is called moksha. But Natubai will look like Natubai, will walk like Natubai, will eat like Natubai, will behave like Natubai, will drive like Natubai. But his mind and attitude towards the life will change for better. That is called moksha. We all can have it if we try.
Thank you.
If you want, and if you want to, well, I can continue as long as you want, because I know you have some more activities before 8 o'clock. If you want question answer, please, I'm sitting here.
I do have one more question.
Go ahead, please.
So you in the second shloka that you have mentioned about that in our life we live in different ashram, like, you know, from the childhood to middle age and to old age, and you said every 25 years we live in different ashrams, right? So you are mentioning that in the last ashram phase, that's when the sannyas ashram that you have
Sannyas ashram,
mentioned.
correct.
Yeah, and you have also said one more thing, that vairagyam is also equivalent to sannyasam in sense of the mind, right? Like you try to, like, you know, try to stay in neutral state and try to stay away from the worldly and the physical body and the worldly objects. That is sannyasam, and that's also equivalent to vairagyam, right? So my question is, I'm 33 years old, you know, and so I'm in the middle age ashram right now. So what are my duties that I can do, because we don't know tomorrow if you're going to be alive or not alive, right?
Yes.
So I was wondering, what can I do right now to prepare myself to that phase, if I am fortunate enough to live until that phase. But I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So
Ab-
what kind of actions I can do right now?
Absolutely wonderful question, and I will try to answer that. We can start at any age, 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old. We don't have to reach 75 to pray to the Lord. It's not necessary. We can start at any age, certainly at your age. What you do is this. Every single action you do, suppose you cook in the house, then your mind must tell you, whatever I'm doing is the God's will. It is my duty. I'm doing it right now. I surrender to the Lord. I will try my best. And whatever comes out, I will consider it a success. Okay, that is Bhagwan's prasad. Whatever came out is Bhagwan's prasad. Suppose you work for the government or for the bank and you go to work tomorrow. Your attitude should be, this is not to make money. I am here because this is what is Lord's order for me to work in this bank. It is His work. I'm doing it. Thank you, Lord. Getting a salary is only a byproduct, which is good. We can use, but the work you are doing is surrendering to the Lord. At the end, you just think, thank God, I'm successful. Okay, this is an excellent beginning in life. If you can do that, then you just give little time, 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, just a little time for these studies. Let's say you decide every night before I go to sleep, I will read one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. There are 700 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. It will take you 2 years to finish. Doesn't matter. Read one shloka, 15 minutes, 20 minutes every night before you go to sleep. I mean, of course, the commentary together with it to make you understand what it is. When you do that, your mind becomes purer and purer and purer. And you don't have to get the moksha. You will reach a state when every day is fun in your life, happy in your life. You can do it. And that doesn't require giving up anything. You don't have to give up spouse. You don't have to give up children. You don't have to give up your job. You don't have to give up anything in your life. Do every single thing that you do, but just do a little bit more in a different direction. It will make you a very happy human being.
Got it.
Also,
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember, but your parents or grandparents, at least in India, when we used to get paychecks, when they bring a monthly paycheck on the 30th or 31st of the month, or at the first of the month, they used to always put it in front of the God first, the check or whatever,
or the cash,
whatever they get the income. They used to put it in front of God, and then the next day they would take it and use it or put it in the bank, saying that, Bhagwan, this is your prasad. So all my activities are dedicated to you, and you have given me this income. I take it as your prasad and I use it for whatever purposes that they use it. So that attitude of giving everything to Bhagwan, you're cooking, you're taking care of your children, you're taking care of your spouse, your parents, your dharma that you're doing at this point. You dedicate everything to Bhagwan. Even you're driving to work, you get into the car, you say, oh Lord, thank you for giving me this car, and be with me, keep your hand on my head and keep me safe. Just the thought of Bhagwan is good. The moment you leave your house, in some of the Gujarati families, when we leave the house, whoever is in the house, we say Jai Shri Krishna to them. We take God's name. And I'm sure a lot of families do that. They have this ritual that they say Jai Shri Krishna or whatever God's name, to keep that God in your mind all the time. So when you have to fight with somebody or fight for your rights with somebody, you know, somebody said something nasty to you and you want to talk back to them, give it back to them. When that thought of the God comes to that, you will hesitate for a second, and you will be a little bit more assertive, but not nasty. So those things come, you know, you make your life divine every day.
Every single time when we get together, 2, 3, 4 of you should come up with some question. And whatever is the commonest problems of everybody, just ask that question. And you will have some suggestions. It will improve our lives. It's better. 1% better is better than 0. And 2% is better than 1%. We keep improving ourselves for the rest of our lives. I think you your own closing prayer or something.
Thank you.
Any question? No?
I was just going to say something, Jatin bhai.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
जो negative words है ना, जैसे problem है या, I always avoid it. I say these are issues of life, part of the process, and we'll deal with it. With His blessings, you know, we'll come through it. So you already
Agree.
deal with that issue, you know. So I always suggest people, please use a better word. Let the positivity come out of you. It's not that we're not going to have issues in life. There are always going to be issues, but that's
Correct.
what life is.
I agree. I agree. It's how we face the problem. Agree.
Face it. Yes. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Okay.
अब करेंगे last prayer.
Okay, so let me just sit. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
बहुत धन्यवाद.
Open on all Fridays in January. So pick any 2 Fridays and let me know. If not, 2nd and 4th Friday. So you can fix it, 2nd and 4th Friday. So please let me know.
हाँ जी, जरूर.
Okay.
So
Okay, Mama, namaste. Raj here.
Hi, how are you? Hari Om.
Oh, Hari Om. હું આજે કામ કરતો હતો ને એટલે હોસ્પિટલ થી કરું છું.
It's okay. It's all right. Hari Om.
Arun Bhai, sorry to interrupt, one quick thing. Jatin Bhai is also giving us very good information about meditation.
Hanji, Hanji.
So I do not know if people know about it, but he has other Pravachan. I attended one of his Pravachan yesterday on meditation. So if people are interested in attending that meditation Pravachan and experience, then whom to talk to, what is the contact link or so?
You can send it to Bhavna ji and then Bhavna ji can forward it.
Right. Okay.
We have been sending every week to Bhavna ji. We cannot do it directly on your WhatsApp. So always every week we have Gita class and the meditation. We have always sent it to Bhavna ji. Then it's up
And
to
let
her.
Bhavna ji send it to all of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
So Hindu temple on this Sunday, coming Sunday, December 20th, from 3:45 to 4:45 for 1 hour, going to have a session, realign your tax strategy. Speaker Dr. Narendra Lumba, Anil Singh, Bharti Gupta. They are professionals Bharti is a CPA, Dr. Lumba is a management consultant, Anil Singh is a wealth management guy. So I request all to attend that session. It's going to be very beneficial. And the other thing is, Jagdish just sent an email today. So this year we have collected so far $347,000. And the goal was to raise another total $450,000. So I got 2 calls from people who are going to send me the check, and I request everybody to donate whatever they can, so we can have the temple ready by March, as a contractor is telling us. और जो लोगों को नहीं पता, we prepare 400 bags of food. Tomorrow we're going to be donating that. So thank you all who has supported us, who have helped us. तो मैं चंद्र जी से प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि फाइनल प्रेयर करेंगे हम.
ओम भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ द्यौः शान्ति अन्तरिक्षगं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्ति वनस्पतयः शान्ति विश्वे देवा शान्ति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वगम शांति शांतिरेव शांति सामा शांतिरेवि ओम शांति शांति शांति। थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद चंद्र जी। वीना जी, सो नाइस टू सी यू। आज हमारे साथ वीना जी आए हैं, बहुत दिनों बाद दिखे। वीना जी कहाँ हैं आप? अनिरुद्ध जी, वीना जी। मैंने अपना नंबर वहाँ लिखा है चैट में, अगर किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन है दान के लिए तो दे कैन कॉल मी 9144096766। हे यू आर वीना जी, नमस्ते।
शक्ल तो नजर नहीं आ रही।
आगे जी।
वीना जी नमस्ते।
अनम्यूट करिए अपने आप को।
अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को। अभी नहीं अनम्यूट नहीं हुए आप। जहाँ म्यूट है, जहाँ माइक होगा उसके ऊपर क्लिक कीजिए।
मेरा जी स्क्रीन पे ऊपर कहीं भी क्लिक करो तो ऊपर माइक्रोफोन आ जाएगा। स्क्रीन पर कहीं भी क्लिक करो, ऊपर माइक्रोफोन। हाँ,
अब समझ में आएगा। नमस्कार सबको, बहुत बहुत
नमस्कार वीना जी। नमस्ते।
गुड टू सी यू वीना जी।
प्रोमिला जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
बहुत धन्यवाद
जी। बहुत
दिनों के बाद
जी।
आते रहा करो, हमें उदास मत करा करो।
क्या किया जाए,
आते रहा करो, बस यही करना है।
बस मिलेंगे।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Thank
अनिल
you.
जी को भी हमारी नमस्ते बोलना।
जरूर जरूर।
नाइस टू सी यू बीना जी।
रानी जी नमस्ते, कैसे हैं?
हेलो, शायद तुमसे बात। हाँ,
किसी और
दक्षा बहन, जय श्री कृष्णा।
जय श्री कृष्ण टू एवरीबॉडी।
जय श्री कृष्ण।
नमस्ते दक्षा जी, कैसे हो?
नमस्ते, बस ठीक है, आप कैसे हो?
बस मजे में।
We missed you yesterday when we were packing the food.
Yeah, my car got stuck ice में ना, तो निकल ही नहीं रही थी और मुझे पता भी लास्ट मिनट पे लगा। कल सीमा जी के साथ बन रहा था प्रोग्राम, फिर she cancelled and I couldn't come. Sorry, left you guys alone.
That's okay. We'll see you. Are you coming tomorrow?
What time is tomorrow?
I think around 1 o'clock, right?
Daksha, we cannot come tomorrow.
Okay.
We have to go some.
चलिए बात करते हैं हम बाद में दक्षा जी।
Okay, ठीक है।
ठीक है, ठीक।
All right. Jai Shri Krishna to everybody.
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार। Okay जी, bye bye.
Okay, well, very good discussion today. Good lecture.
Yes, good lecture
Very
as
good.
always. As always.
As always.
Yeah.
Always.
Phone is not working.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, धन्यवाद।
Thank you जी, good night.
शुभ रात्रि। आप सब तन मन धन से सुखी रहें।
ओके वीना जी, नमस्ते।
नमस्कार। चलो।
Good to see you. A long time. जी, मिलते हैं फिर।
हेलो, चले गए, बंद हो गया। बाय एवरीबॉडी।